Rain barrels capture stormwater from our roofs and downspouts. Green infrastructure uses plants, soils, and other natural materials to capture stormwater and allow it to absorb back into the ground. So our rain barrels are going to capture stormwater so that we can reuse it in our yards.
You're going to need 2 cinder blocks, you're going to need some tin snips, you're going to need a hacksaw, you're going to need a tape measure, and you're going to need a flex elbow.
When you're installing a rain barrel, it's really important that you wear your PPE, or your personal protective equipment. And that includes steel-toed boots, or some kind of closed-toed shoe, leather gloves to protect your hands, and eye protection so that anything that comes off the gutter does not end up in your eyes. For this house, we've decided that we're going to put the rain barrel right in front of the downspout. I would recommend putting it either in front of or just to the side of your downspout. You have to make sure that the spot is level, and then we're going to put down cinder blocks to place the rain barrel on. It's okay if the barrel is a little bit farther forward than you think it should be because of the downspout. We're going to cut this downspout off so the barrel will scoot backwards.
So before you cut, you want to make sure that you're going to cut at least 10 inches or below where the rain barrel is going to be at.
Remove your rain barrel, and now it's time to start cutting. So the first tool that we're going to use is a hacksaw. While you're doing your cutting, you want to make sure that your hand is out of the way of the saw, and you want to be patient because it might take some time to get through. Now we're going to switch to tin snips so you can see how tin snips work.
When you're making the final cut, you can also bend this in a little bit.
All right, so I'm disconnecting the bottom of the downspout. This downspout happened to have some screws that were holding it on, so we're just unscrewing them, and then we'll be able to disconnect and put the rain barrel back in place. It's important that you keep this piece, because if you decide to take your rain barrel down in the wintertime, you're gonna wanna reattach this piece of downspout. So put this somewhere safe, don't lose it.
You have an extra latch here. There's 2 things you can do with it. 1, you can actually take it off the house, or 2, you can actually bend it out, easy and simple like this, so the rain barrel can actually slide right up against the house.
Now that you've cut your downspout, it's time to install the rain barrel. So we're gonna come and place it on our nice leveled cinder blocks, right under the downspout. And the next step is to add the flexible elbow.
So when installing your flex elbow, you want to make sure you put the bigger end on the bottom of the sprout itself. So I like to bend it a little bit. Sometimes it gets a little tricky and the back end doesn't want to go in. But all you have to do is just put a little pressure and push it in, and it should snap right on. If you have a larger roof, you should always put the screws back into the flex elbow, just in case if you have a lot of water pressure coming down the gutter, it doesn't actually come off. So I took the 2 screws that we had from earlier, and I'm going to install them to the side.
This rain barrel is now installed. So the first thing that you'll notice is that there's a spigot on the rain barrel. Now you probably would have installed this before placing the barrel in this location by putting your hand inside the barrel and screwing the spigot on together. All of the rain barrels that we are distributing have instructions in them about how to install these spigots. The spigot is a standard size. You can connect a garden hose to it, open, closed. So if you want to use your rain barrel to water your yard, just connect a garden hose or maybe even fill a watering can. Another piece that you should note is that there is mesh here underneath the lid. It is very important that you keep the mesh and you always have it installed. What the mesh is doing is it's preventing mosquitoes and other insects from getting inside your rain barrel. So it's very important that your mesh is in good condition and that it doesn't have any holes or tears in it. So your lids can be removed by just spinning the top, and the mesh can be removed. So if your mesh gets a hole in it, you can replace it by just going to your local hardware store and buying some additional screen. And you just lay it back on top of the barrel and screw the lid back on. Each barrel also has 2 overflow ports, one on this side and then one directly opposite. They're located just above the handles. The barrels are going to come with a plastic elbow that you can screw into these holes and then a tube that can come off. And what you should do is you should direct the tube to wherever you would like the overflow from your barrel to go. So when there's too much rain in the barrel, The overflow ports allow that extra water to escape, and the piping that you use will allow you to direct it to wherever you'd like. All right, that's it. Your rain barrel is now installed and ready for your next rainstorm. Remember that the water from your rain barrel is better for your plants than the water that comes out of your garden hose. Garden hoses are potable water, which means that they have chlorines and other things in them that your plants don't actually need. So your plants are really going to love the water coming out of this rain barrel.